Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. That's hard to say. The Geeky Girls Knit podcast. At least it's not 3 G's. That would be even worse. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash a Bit Weird.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, and this is episode 34. 34. Can you believe we've been doing this for 34 weeks? Without a break. We haven't missed a single episode. Wake up.
I am awake.
She's not very awake, I don't think, y'all. So we would like to welcome back all of our returning viewers and say a big hello to new viewers. We have a few people who have introduced themselves in our Ravelry group this week. So we want to say hello to them. First up is Azad. I think that's how you say her username. Who is Allison from Sydney, Australia. Hello. Dragonfly7673, who is Vicky from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, Vicky. Next up is Siegfried and Roy, who is Pam from rural Minnesota. And finally is Penguin Soup, who is Jenny from Manitoba, Canada. Hello. We're glad to have you. If you are a member of our Ravelry group and have not introduced yourself, or if you are not a member of our Ravelry group, go join it and then introduce yourself, and we will give you a shout out on the next podcast. And with that, I think we're ready to start. So here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Mare?
I haven't really got anything on my needles.
We will talk about needles in the next segment, though. No, not the next segment. The following segment.
Okay.
Yeah? In Yummies?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. But I didn't read the thing.
Oh. It's in the Yummy section. So what's not on your needles? Okay. So she wanted a project, so I gave her one. These are my headphones, and she's yarn bombing them for me. I think I showed y'all when I did my other pair, because I have a pair that I keep by my computer, by my laptop, and use it when I'm sitting in the recliner to listen to stuff. But then I also have this pair that Damaris has that I carry in my wallet wristlet thing, and they needed to be done, and she wanted a project, so ta-da! What is this yarn? It's like a rainbow colored. That's very washed out. It's not true color. It's a brighter than it's showing here, and it's blues and yellows and greens and pinks.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure where I got this yarn from, but it was in my stash. It's Mondial Volcano, and it's 40% cotton, 30% nylon, and 30% acrylic. And it's in the multicolor colorway. And your sweater will be back on needles tomorrow. Hopefully. But she did finish a project this week that was actually on needles in the next segment. Okay, so I have 2 things currently active on my needles. First up is this baby blanket that I'm designing. We turned pink again. So I have 4 more rows and I will be done with, let's see, it's 36 total minus 8, so I'll be done with 28 of the squares, because I'm doing 4 squares at once right now. And can you see my boo-boo? Purposeful boo-boo? I think I told y'all last week or the week before that I had run out of this, it was last week, that I was running out of this vintage teal color. Well, we went and bought what we thought would be the right color, and it was not. So the hubs took and exchanged it for the only other color in the same family that was the same yarn brand. And it's this light stuff, and I said, forget it, I'm just going to do it anyway. So it'll have a unique little multicolor square. So after I finish these 4 squares right here that are almost done, I have 4 more on this end. And then the border. And it'll be done. And it will be done by the end of the month because that's my UFO project. My other thing on the needles is my There and Back Again socks. I didn't pull up the picture because I figured y'all could figure this out by now. Oh, I forgot to say, on the baby blanket, it's on US 5's 3.75 millimeters, and all the colors are on the project page. I'm not going to tell y'all all 12 yarns and colors because it's all leftover yarn from other projects. Okay, so here's my There and Back Again socks by Dawn Hansen, and I'm doing it in Knit Picks Comfy Fingering Weight in the Bison and Peony. That's kind of washed out too. That's a little more true to color. And these are on US 1.5's 2.5 millimeters. And so last week I think I was just kind of down here at the end of the first chart. So I did the rest of the foot, did the heel. I had never done a short row heel before, and so I did that and really liked it. Oops, our show notes just turned off. And then did the leg, and now I just finished row 2. It's hard to see. Of the second chart. So the second chart has 30 rows, and I'm 2 rows in on it, and then I think like 8 rows of stockinette and like 14 rows of ribbing. So I am in the home stretch on these. So I'm hoping to have these done by next week. We shall see. Because I have other projects as well that need to go on the needles. I'll tell you about that in the next segment. Yes. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about our finished projects.
What'd you finish? It's a little brighter than that in person. So tell us about it.
It is the top-down preemie hat by her.
It's one of my freebie patterns on Ravelry. So go get it.
And it's the
SMC.
Bravo rainbow color in the circus colorway.
Needles?
On 2.5 millimeters.
In case you didn't get that, because you're talking very softly.
I'm sorry.
The pattern's called Top Down Preemie Hat, so you cast on with a Emily O cast on, and then do your increases, and then knit, and then ribbing on the bottom. And it's SMC Bravo rainbow color in the circus colorway on US 2.5's 3.0 millimeters. And this skein of yarn cracks us up, because it has probably about, like 10 or 12 colors in it with all the shades. And it's very long repeats, though, because she ended up with this pink and orange for almost the whole hat until it just started into the purple at the bottom. So, it's a cute one. We'll donate it to local NICU. So here's my finished project for the week. So a friend of ours in our small group from church asked if I would knit some stuff for him and his wife, and I said yes. We have some birds have built a nest outside our window.
Right on top of the air conditioner.
And usually they're pretty calm, but occasionally more than one of them show up at the same time, and they get into a great big fight.
And they go nuts.
And they go nuts. And that's what just happened. I don't think you could probably hear it, but it was funny, and now they're kind of arguing with each other. Anyway, hat. So my friend from small group wants 3 hats for him and 2 pairs of fingerless mitts for his wife. So I said, okay, and I went and got yarn and showed it to him, and he was cool with the colors. So this is the first hat of 3. And I think I'm going to just do the same pattern for all 3 hats because I got different colorways for all 3 of them. And I think it's a good pattern, and he liked that it's got a slouch in the back. So this is the Graham hat by Jennifer Adams. It was a free pattern on Ravelry. And this is in I Love This Wool's Naturals in the Umber colorway. That's actually pretty true to color. It's kind of a dark brown, but with some oatmeal-y flecks in it. And it was done on US 6 4.0 millimeters and US 8 5.0 millimeters. And you knit it inside out. So this, because it's a broken rib pattern, so this is the inside of the hat that's showing. So you do ribbing, and then you do the broken rib. And it's got a slouch in the back. Let me take it off. Ooh, my hair's crazy. Ah! Don't look at my hair. Show them the right side. When you're knitting it, the right side. So that's what it looks like when you're knitting it, but then you flip it inside out to wear it. And that's all it's finished. So I'll have some more of these hats.
You shouldn't have taken the hat off.
No, we'll fix my hair during the break between segments. So there'll be 2 more of these hats plus 2 pair of fingerless mitts for his wife. Now, you were having issues with your hair, so I don't know that I would put that on. Mm-hmm. But it was a fun, easy, fast pattern. This is the new trend to put your hand on your head. And that's all it's finished. So we're going to go fix my hair, and then we'll be back. And now my hair is fixed. And thus, it is time for my favorite part of the show.
The point where Larry comes out and sings a
silly song. Yummies! Does Larry have a song about Yummies? No. We're referencing Veggie Tales, if you're wondering. So Yummies is the part of our show where we talk about our favorite things or good things that have happened this week or just cool things that we want to share with you. So here we go. First up, I placed an order for yarn, even though I'm not supposed to be buying yarn unless it's before a specific project before we leave. But I couldn't help myself. I fought it for weeks and finally gave in. So this yarn is from Highland Handmaids. Heather is the owner and dyer. She's Boutros Babe on Ravelry and I think Plurk, but she also does the Fiberista Files podcast, video podcast. And she was so sweet, she sent Damaris and I both buttons, which I love, and a sweet little note that made me cry, and this yummy goodness. And it is a lot brighter in person. Ooh, that's better. That's pretty close. So it's the pinks and like a neon pink and a neon lime green and a black, but where the green and black fade into each other, it's kind of a greeny, browny something. And this is better.
A green brownie?
A greeny brownie something. And where the pink and the black come together, it's kind of a purpley pink. This is her sugar maple sock yarn in the colorway Uber. And it's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon, 425 yards, 100 grams. And it smells good.
I smelled it.
I made her and the hubs smell it several times after it came. My precious, my precious. You gotta have it. So I think this is going to be my May. I'm going to show them. This is going to be my May socks.
You already showed them.
But I don't know what pattern I want to use. Somebody suggested I should do one of Heather's sock patterns. I've already done her level up socks though. And I'm trying to remember what other sock pattern she has. And I'm not sure off the top of my head. If you break my yarn, I will cry and you will be in so much trouble.
How do you break yarn?
Don't pull on it. So if you have suggestions for socks for me for May in this gorgeous ubery goodness, tell me because I am so excited. Let me have my yarn.
Put it down!
It's so good. So thank you, Heather. I love it. Lots. Okay, and I'll put a link to her shop in the show notes. Next up, thank you for the suggestions for the interchangeable needles after the great needle debacle of last week. So we ordered, needles. We ordered the Knit Picks, I'm trying to remember what they're called. Don't mind me while I click over here and see if I can find it. We ordered the Options Interchangeable Nickel-Plated Circular Knitting Needle Set. Say that 12 times fast.
12 times fast. That. Ah.
And we ordered an extra set of cables because we wanted the 60-inch cables. And so, those are on their way. They are in the state of Texas. They are just not in Abilene, Texas. But, according to FedEx, they should be delivered tomorrow. Which will make Damaris very happy because she can work on her sweater.
Yee.
And will make me very happy because the chow goos will stop breaking, hopefully. The chow goos that we have left. And we sent the broken chow goos back to chow goo, and they're supposed to replace them. What else? We have a Scotland update. Passport! So, the hub's got his passport in. They cover up like all this important information you can't see. So there's his passport. Mine is in this beautiful.
I wanted that one, but she wouldn't let me. I get this black and pink one. What? And what is it made of?
Like a vinyl. It's pretty. However,
She put a bird sticker on it. I didn't want the bird sticker on it.
Beautiful.
I didn't want the bird sticker on it.
Well, you can take it off then. Anyway, I won this passport folder from Vera Bradley a few years ago, but didn't have a passport to put in it. So I did use it for other stuff. Yeah, undo it.
I wanted to open it and cover it.
Okay, hold on. I just want to show them the inside here. So it's got the space for the passport, but then it has a place for ID and important folder papers. Okay, now you got to cover you got to cover down there too. I hate my picture, but ta-da! So I have a passport too.
You can't see anything.
Okay. And what came in the mail Monday?
Netflix movie? My birth certificate.
Say it louder.
Get louder.
I'm going to hurt you, child. Tell them what came.
My birth certificate.
A birth certificate. Remember we had that whole passport birth certificate debacle? We like debacles, apparently. We have them quite often. So it came Monday, so we went today, this morning, and applied for Damaris's passport. And the really cool thing was they were telling us 6 to 8 weeks on our passports, but they came in less than 3.5 weeks. In fact, the passports came in before her birth certificate came in, and we had paid for the expedited shipping on her birth certificate. So, Hopefully her birth certificate will be here in about 4 weeks. I mean, not her birth certificate. Actually, the passport people have your birth certificate now. Hopefully her passport will come in about 4 weeks. And then we will be ready for the next step, which is...
Visas.
Visas. Bum, bum, bum. We told Damaris, the Hubs and I, we've got passports, so we're leaving. Bye-bye.
Not if I take your passports.
Okay, let's not destroy the passports. Thank you very much. What else? Okay, our friend Knittin' Mom on Ravelry and pretty much everywhere, Twitter and all kinds of stuff, Amy, is doing a new thing on her blog that is inspired by our Yummies. She is calling it Terrific Tuesday. So it's going to be every week on Tuesdays, and I helped make a little, whatchamacallit?
Banner.
Yeah, kind of a banner button thing for it. It has a sunshine on it. It's very fun. And it's a blog link up. So each week you can post your terrific things, your yummies, whatever, and link up on Amy's blog, and that way you can follow along. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes. So yay, Amy! And I saw her Terrific Tuesday yesterday, and it was very good. Okay, what else? Do you notice something different about us? Doesn't that hurt?
No.
Or are you trying to show them the top of your head? We got haircuts again. And you were inspired by Carrie Mulligan. Again.
Yes, every time I've gone in there when I want to change my haircut, I've just shown them a picture of Carrie Mulligan.
A different one each time.
Yes. She's such a cutie.
So that's Damaris's, and mine is uber short, which is what I wanted. Finally got it the right length. And I love it because I don't have to blow dry it. I don't have to put hairspray on it. I wash it and brush it and then do a little thing. It's hard to tell on the video, but it's got a lot of texture in it. And it's amazing, and I love it, and it's what I've been wanting, and they finally got it right. I think they were just nervous to cut off too much, because I think they were like, are you sure you want it this short? And I was like, yes, cut it. And so finally, we got there, and I'm thrilled, happy with it, other than these pieces that are sticking up from wearing the hat. So, all right, now we have a spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled about the season finale of NCIS, you need to go and come back when we wave our hands and say spoiler over. Yes? Are they gone?
I don't know.
Are you gone? Okay, here we go. So, it was announced this week that the season finale of NCIS, which is going to be on Tuesday, May the 14th, which is not very far away, it's only about 4 weeks away, that we will have a special guest star from JAG. Anybody remember JAG? We loved that show. And JAG is actually what NCIS spun out of. And so, the Judge Advocate General, A.J. Chegwidden, from JAG is going to guest star in the season finale.
JAG, Judge
Advocate General.
Is that what it's supposed to stand for?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought it stood for something different.
They're lawyers.
Okay.
And
is he a good guy?
He is a good guy. We love him. He's awesome. And apparently he's retired, and he comes back to help with a case. So I'm very excited to get to see him. I mean, it's been like 10 years or so. Gosh, that makes me feel old. Do you know, NCIS has been on for 10 years? Makes me feel old. Okay, that's all of our spoilery things, I think, for this week, right? We could talk about Doctor Who and Sherlock, but...
No, I'm not going to talk about that.
No, we're not going to go there.
Never go there. Ever.
So I think we're
And tag your spoilers.
That's right. It made Damaris mad, because spoilers were not...
Tag your Setlock spoilers, and tag your Doctor Who spoilers. Just tag all your spoilers.
Because sometimes we want to see them, but sometimes we don't.
Untagged spoilers make me angry, and you won't like me when I'm angry.
Are you going to turn into the Hulk?
Arr.
All right, on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
Okay, so this is the first book I'm reading. It is, let me see if I can show you all the picture first. Oops, up. This is called Bread and Wine, A Love Letter to Life Around the Table by Shauna Nyquist. And Shauna is one of my favorite authors. She writes beautiful essays. She's got 2 other books. One is called Bittersweet,
Cold Tangerines.
and the other one's called Cold Tangerines, and they're all 3 amazing. This is her brand new book that just came out about a week ago, I guess now, and I've just been reading 1 essay a night because I want it to last, because I just love her writing. But she talks, obviously, with the title, Bread and Wine, A Love Letter to Life Around the Table, she talks about food and having community around the table by eating together. And so the book also has a lot of recipes in it. And one of the cool things was that I found out is her husband has to eat gluten-free, and so she offers in almost all the recipes options, ways to make it gluten-free. So that was a pretty cool thing. So, okay, Damaris going to talk about what else we're reading while I get the other one up.
Okay, I finished reading and she's still reading The Return of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, I read the one about the students last night.
3 students.
Yeah, the 3 students.
By Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
And you've started
The Valley of Fear by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Which I will start.
And I got kind of confused, but then I realized it's probably said before the final problem.
Gotcha. That's good information.
Good information.
Yeah.
And then I think we only have 2 short story
collections left?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we can watch Granada Holmes. Yay!
Yeah, we will probably do that this summer while you are doing your summer project of scanning in lots of pictures.
The printer's loud, though.
But once it's turned on, it's not really loud while you're scanning. So, okay, the other thing that I am reading, and actually I've read this book before, but it's the first in a series, so I'm rereading it. This is Heartless by Anne Elizabeth Stengel. And when I checked just a while ago, it's free for the Kindle right now. And this is the first book in the Tales of Goldstone Wood series. And the reason I'm rereading it is because our friend Angie, who is SunDaisy920 on Ravelry, and she's real active in our group, so y'all probably seen her, sent us book 4 of the series, Starflower. And when I looked a few minutes ago, book 2 and book 3 I think are $1.99 and $2.99 for the Kindle, so I'm probably going to go ahead and get them while they're on sale. These books are a fantasy series with kings and princes and princesses and dragons and all kinds of things. So I'm really enjoying rereading book 1, and then I'm going to read book 2 and 3 so that I can read book 4 that Angie sent us. Thank you, Angie. Can't wait to read it. It came in the mail this week. All right. On to TV. Do you want to talk Psych? Because I think you wrote those notes.
Sure. Okay, so Psych 7.7. These nuts.
These nuts. Because he was getting married. Mm-hmm. Lassiter. I can make this brighter. Would that help?
I can see it.
Okay.
What?
What are you whatting?
I don't remember what they were what-wedding, but I just wrote that.
Oh, was it when Lassiter was kidnapped?
No.
Oh. They kidnapped Lassie.
For a bachelor party. I wrote that. They kidnapped Lassie for a bachelor party.
Oh, all right.
And Sean, will you please wang chung with me?
Yes, they were going to dance at the reception.
Everybody wang chung tonight. I don't even know that song.
But then...
The ending, what?
Oh my gosh.
That's what I wrote. The ending, what?
I was like, because I watched it with the Hubs when it. We had DVR'd it because the Hubs doesn't get home until after it's already on. So he and I watched it Wednesday night, and then Damaris and I watched it Thursday, and we were both times I was just like, oh my god, because
Thing.
she figured out that Sean is not really psychic.
What?
And ran off from the wedding.
Not before throwing her champagne on him.
Yeah. And there was this like whole series of flashbacks, and he was like, I was never supposed to this was never supposed to happen. I was never supposed to fall in love with you. So thankfully there's a new episode tonight, which is
Right Turn or Left for Dead.
yes. So
On tonight.
So hopefully we'll get some resolution to this because, oh my gosh. Okay. So Monday night, Revolution, the new episode of Revolution was supposed to air. However, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know by now that on Monday there was the tragic events that happened at the Boston Marathon. And so the new episode of Revolution was preempted for a hour-long news episode about the explosions. We want to express our deepest sympathies and let you know that our thoughts and prayers and all our love is coming out to you for those of you who've been affected by what happened in Boston. As a former runner, it just broke my heart when I heard what happened, and I don't normally watch the news, but when I saw what had happened on Twitter and Plurk, we turned it on, and it just broke my heart. So all of our love and prayers and thoughts are with you in Boston. So because of that, Revolution is pushing everything back by a week. So this coming Monday night, the 22nd of April, is when episode 1.14, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, will air. And so everything is just getting pushed back by a week. We watched a new television show this week that I think we both really enjoyed. Actually, I think the Hubs enjoyed it as well. It was 2 hours long on Monday night for the pilot. This new show is called Defiance, and it is, at least here in the United States, it's on the Sci-Fi Channel. And they've played it probably 70 zillion times since Monday night. Every time we turn on the TV and turn it to Sci-Fi, it's playing again, which is kind of cool because this has been a big deal show. It's got a tie-in with a video game
of the same name.
Yeah.
And in the commercials, they'd play the trailer for the video game, and the song that's playing with it is Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. I'm just like, stop, it's going to be in my head for the rest of the day, because it's such a catchy song.
Yes. So, there are 3 people who are,
who we know.
Well, we don't know them, but are from other shows we've watched.
We know them, but we don't know them.
So, do you want us to talk about the first 2, and then I'll talk about the third one?
Julie Benz is Darla from Buffy and Angel, and she's playing Amanda Rosewater, who is the new mayor.
Right.
And Tony Curran is Vincent from Doctor Who, Vincent and the Doctor and the Pandorica Opens, playing Daytek Tar, who's the head...
Votan.
Votan?
In Defiance. Defiance is a city.
What's a Votan?
It's the alien race. I'm about to talk about that. That's what collectively they're called, that alien race. And then the third one, and I'm going to butcher her name, and I apologize. Fionnuala Flanagan, who was Eloise Hawking from the Lost TV series, which is, like, my favorite ever, is playing Nikki, who was the old mayor of Defiance. So, like I said, this was the pilot episode, and it was 2 hours long, which was kind of good, because I told Damaris, after the Hubs and I watched it on Monday night, the first hour was kind of slow because it was a lot of background information, but it was all necessary information to understand where the show is going. The second hour was much better. So I kind of copied a thing from IMDb that's kind of the background, but I'm not going to read it all to you, but just to kind of give you an idea of what it is. The series is set in the not too distant future, probably like 2040, 2045.
It said about 33 years later. from here.
So
That's
that'd be 2046. So not too distant future. And it's on Earth. And what has happened is in the year 2013, this race of aliens that's collectively known as the Votans, and there's a bunch of different subspecies of aliens all in this race called the Votans. They've come to Earth. They're looking for a new home, and because their solar system was destroyed. But when they got to Earth, they tried to negotiate with us, the people of Earth, and that didn't work. They were not welcome. So, but instead of leaving, they sent down all these machines and stuff, and they terraformed Earth to make it habitable for them.
Which is weird, because usually in other sci-fi shows, Earth is the one terraforming other planets.
Yes, they terraformed here. So now, these 33 years later, there's been war this whole 33 years. A ceasefire was finally declared. Because both sides realize that they've got to focus on surviving here on Earth, which is much different than what it is now in 2013 because of all the terraforming that's happened. So the series focuses around the main character of Jeb Nolan, who is a former soldier who was in St. Louis, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. St. Louis becomes the town of Defiance. It's still got the arch, which you may have seen in some of the previews, if you've seen any of the previews. Jeb was just like 10 years old in 2013 when the Votans arrived, and we see a flashback to that. And he fought in the war, and now is trying to get away to Antarctica, where it supposedly is a beach now. So everything's apparently melted in Antarctica, and it's a beach now. He has with him his daughter, who is a member of the Votan race that he has raised. Her name is Arissa, and they are working together to try to earn money by stealing things and selling them to get to Antarctica. But they end up getting captured, and then by a gang of thugs, and then they get away, and the lawkeeper, who is like the police in Defiance, and his men rescue them, and they bring them to Defiance. So you get this whole thing. There's a lot of backstory, like I said. So what happens then is the lawkeeper gets killed, and Jeb becomes the new lawkeeper because he and Arissa helped save the town when another member of the Votan and all these creatures, robot kind of type creatures, tried to attack Defiance. And they saved the day. We find out that the former mayor, Nikki, is who is behind the attacks, but apparently she has a good reason, like it's supposed to save Earth or something, but we don't get all these details. So we don't know if it's really for a good reason or if she's just out to get everybody. So that's kind of where we are up to this point. This show really has a feeling of Firefly. Like the space western type thing.
Well, it's not really western. It's some of the spirit riders, the gang of thugs, had a sort of steampunk thing
to
going on.
Yeah, but you've got kind of Earth type. You've got Earth with humans, but aliens and
Daytak and his wife are sort of like medieval looking with their hoods and appearance and stuff. So
it really does kind of have a Firefly-ish feel to it, which we love. Firefly, obviously. Hello, Serenity, on my shirt here. So I think if it can hold up to and continue to get better as what the second hour was, I think it's going to be a really good show. I think they've already filmed like 12 or 13 episodes, so that's kind of awesome. So the next episode is Monday night. If you missed the pilot, check on Sci-Fi because they're playing it all the time right now.
Over and over.
The next episode will be Monday the 22nd. It's called Down in the Ground Where the Dead Men Go. And apparently that's a lyric to a song. So that'll be on Monday night. And then now what you are all waiting for.
Doctor Who 7.9 Cold War.
Cold War.
Okay, so we don't have as many notes on this as we have had previous episodes, but we still have some. Okay, so an article before that had some sort of vague hints about the episode said to watch out for fan-pleasing references to the Crotons, which was a second Doctor adventure.
Not the croutons.
No, the Crotons, which was a second Doctor adventure, and Forest of the Dead, which was a 10th Doctor adventure, which is known for its introduction of River Song.
Ba-ba!
Okay, so the reference to the Crotons was the HADS, the Hostile Action Displacement Systems. So apparently, whenever the TARDIS is under attack by whatever, it relocates without
the Doctor.
Even if the Doctor or his companion isn't inside.
And that's what happened on Cold War. Because the Doctor messed with HADS, and it relocated.
I think... Is it okay if I call the TARDIS sexy?
Sure.
I think sexy just went away because she's kind of annoyed with him right now.
Because of Clara.
Yeah. And...
So she went to the South Pole.
And they were at the North Pole.
Yeah, so that's a little problem.
Okay, and the Forest of the Dead reference was the red settings, the dampers on the Sonic
Screwdriver.
That's
This episode was full of red.
Red. Wait, I'm about to get to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the Professor, I forget how you say his name.
It's Russian, so I don't know either.
Yes, the Professor liked to sing.
He likes 80s music, because this happened in 1983.
Yes, and he's just, like, trying to get Clara to sing Hungry Like the Wolf.
Which is a Bad Wolf reference.
Well, possibly.
Possibly.
Because the Doctor Who Tumblr put a thing of the song, and they put an image by it, and it was the TARDIS when it had Bad Wolf painted on it. Are you trying to tell us something, nice people who work at BBCA? Okay, so, and the music plays a part in this, like in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Okay. All the red stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Forest of the Dead, the red settings.
On the screwdriver, Sonic Screwdriver.
Yeah. And the Ice Warrior Skaldak referenced the red snows, Mars, which is where the Ice Warriors are from.
Yeah.
And Russia.
Which has a significance with the color red.
Mm-hmm. And Clara, because she's always seen wearing something red. And also there are red stars some places inside and on the outside of the sub. And the warning lights flash red.
Do you want to talk about this part down here about her not wearing red, or you want to wait?
Yeah, I'll wait a second.
Okay.
And they thought the Ice Warrior was a mammoth.
That was funny.
Like, I think in the first episode that Ice Warriors were in, someone discovered an Ice Warrior and they thought it was a mastodon.
Ah, gotcha.
Viva Las Vegas!
That's where they were supposed to be going, was to Las Vegas.
And then Clara's just like, not Vegas then. And
that was kind of funny.
This is like Rio all over again.
And I loved his sunglasses, the Doctor's sunglasses.
Yeah, and they fell off at one point, and when he's just sitting down, and there's water pouring around on them, he's just like... And Clara doesn't have her necklace. That made me sad.
Yeah, in case you don't know what we're talking about, in the previous episodes, she's had, it looks like wings, like maybe the wings you would get as a kid when you fly on an airplane, or possibly angel wings with a blue stone in the middle that we think might
like a triangle.
We think it might reference the TARDIS
or something. Okay, and we're just like, why does he have a Barbie doll and a ball of yarn / twine in his?
What was that about?
Jacket. And is that a wine glass / goblet / partly eaten caramel apple / slightly melted lollipop? In The Angels Take Manhattan, Amy asks him where he got the Melody Malone book, and he just says, I don't know, I've stopped asking how things get in my jacket.
But he was very excited to get the Barbie back when the Barbie and the Sonic Screwdriver...
When the Professor found it?
Yeah. Like... So what the heck was that about? Was it just being silly, or is it a reference to something?
Well, he's always serious with days off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me. I'm always serious with days off.
7 days a week off?
Okay, so Clara was not in red this episode. However, her dress is a silver / a silvery blue, so it reflected all of the red warning lights that were on for pretty much the entire episode.
Yeah, so it felt like she was in red, even though she wasn't technically wearing red.
Okay. Professor, I could kiss you! If you insist. Later.
Which is totally like what happened with Rory.
Yeah. Well...
It was evocative of what happened with Rory.
Yes. And apparently, in Dinosaurs on the Spaceship, when he kissed Rory, apparently that was, improvised. So that explains Arthur's reaction to it. He was just like...
Okay, what else?
Okay, so Clara, asking the professor, so why have you got a cattle prod on a submarine? Polar bears. Ah. For when a pogo stick and a whisk just won't do.
Bear polar. Cabin pressure reference, anyone? Okay, go.
Okay, so next week is 7.10, Hyde, on Saturday.
And we get...
Jessica Rain,
Who's in?
Call the Midwife.
Call the Midwife! And I love her. And I was like, when they started showing the previews, I was like, I know her. Who is that? I know her. And so Demira started looking, and she was like, from Call the Midwife. I was like, of course, that's who it is! So, yeah. This was not probably the best episode of the season,
but it was by Mark Gatiss, so it was good. It had a lot of symbols.
Yeah, it was a very symbolic episode. Very symbolic with lots of references. So,
next week, it's the horror episode. And so,
kinda
after the episode airs, I'm expecting some JF sets from people on Tumblr for if Doctor Who was like a horror film or something. Because we do stuff like that. So, you guys better do that.
Alright, that's the TV for this week. I'm glad that we didn't have more TV to talk about because we had a couple things that we talked a lot about. So, on to the next segment. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit about our April Cow, and this is our UFO Cow. The rules were you had to have a project that had been started no later than March 31st, and you have to complete it by the end of April, which is April 30th. We have several people who have finished projects this week, and have shared their photos. So, here they are quickly. Knit Wolf, who is Dawn, finished her Gills Rock shawl. Heaven's Joy, who is Karen, finished her Nature in Natural Afghan. That was gorgeous. All these are gorgeous, but that one is still there in my mind. Jordy Bear 614, who is Jordan, finished her Sixpence Throw. Wisconsin Knitter, who is Eileen, finished her Go Pack Wrist Warmers. Penguin Soup, who is Jenny, finished her Sew Square Socks. Phoenix Fire, who is Tracy, finished her Garland Cowl, and Crafty Knitter 7, who is Sue, finished her Vanilla Socks. So, yay! You're so enthusiastic.
Slow clapping. Slow clapping is for when you want to add emphasis.
Okay. So, way to go, everyone who finished a project this week. Keep working on your projects. You still have...
an amount of time.
Just under 2 weeks to finish, and my blanket will be done, even though I'm not qualified for prizes. Mine will be done.
I thought you said my blank, it will be done.
My blank, it will be done. My blanket will be done. I promise. It's going to get done. So, get those projects finished, get those UFOs finished, and get them posted. Alright, and we are now to the end of our show. Ta-da! We would like to say a thank you to Penguin Soup, who is Jenny, for the shout-outs on her podcast episodes. I just started watching her this week, because I had not seen any of hers yet. I think she has 8 episodes. And she is so enthusiastic and bubbly, and she's just adorable. And she is... if she has not already, is casting on my new sock pattern. So, but she also gave us a shout out in her newest episode. So thank you so much, Jenny. Mwah. We had our first 2 VKNs this last week, and they were fun. Yes.
Although I didn't talk through most of them.
I know, and I talked a lot. But I told them if I was talking too much to tell me to shut up.
I just don't know what to talk about.
It's alright. We will get to know each other, and it will improve every single week. Although it was fun. A lot of fun. So our first one was on Friday night, and then we had another one yesterday, Tuesday afternoon. So we're going to try that again this week. So Friday night, the 19th, at 6 p.m. Central Time. We will have a VKN. And then next Tuesday, the 23rd, sorry, I had to look at the calendar. The 23rd, we will have one at 1 p.m. Central Time. So watch Plurk and Twitter and Facebook and Ravelry for the link. I'll post it. Make sure that you have a Google account, because it is through Google Hangouts, so you have to have a Google account. And we have discovered that things are much smoother if you have headphones or earbuds or something, because you tend to get a lot of feedback if you're not wearing, if the sound's coming through the speakers and kind of echoing back through the microphone. So if you have headphones or earbuds, that makes things much more pleasant for everyone, and you don't hear me going echo, 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 echo. So we hope to see some more of y'all either Friday night or Tuesday afternoon. Tell them about where we are.
We are on, well, our website is geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com, and there you can find where we are, like iTunes and Ravelry and Twitter and stuff.
Blip.
We don't need to list them all the time.
Nope, we don't. Plurk. I'm on Plurk, and I'm also on Instagram and have been doing the photo a day thing, which is fun. And I've met a lot of people on Instagram. A lot of knitting people. I have a lot of new knitting friends on Instagram, so that's kind of fun. And I think that's about it. So we will say goodbye. I think Damaris needs a nap. Happy knitting, and we'll see you next week.